What? Hey guys, I'm Steve, and welcome to our Scamp adventure. My wife Dawn and I recently bought a 13-foot used 2005 Scamp, and we are embarking upon this Scamp journey. Gonna give a tour in just a minute, but let me be real clear up front. I'm not a Scamp expert, so if you came here looking for that kind of information, you're in the wrong place, and I'm not your guy. Now, that said, I do love a Scamp, and everyone has to start somewhere, so our plan is to document our journey along the way so that others maybe can learn from some of the screw-ups that we're bound to make, as we go. I know there's going to be several. So let's get started talking a little bit about how we came to become Scamp owners. Now, my wife and I do have a Scamp on order, although it's not scheduled to be delivered or available for pickup until March in 2023. We didn't want to wait that long, so we decided to go out in search of a used one. So for the last month or so, we've been checking Facebook, Craigslist, any Scamp classified out there we could find. A couple things we've learned is that these things go fast, and odds are, unless you're very lucky, you're going to have to travel to pick one up when you do find one. And we started looking, and really it didn't take that long. We were very fortunate. A couple weeks ago, on June 9th, we happened to see a Scamp for sale in Georgia. It had only been posted for 8 minutes at that time, so we thought maybe we had a good chance of being the first. We immediately emailed the seller to show interest, and he did confirm that we were in fact the first that had reached out to him about the Scamp. Now, we live in Virginia, Colonial Beach, Virginia. It's in the northeastern portion. This Scamp was for sale in Beaufort, Georgia, which is outside of Atlanta. Now, luckily, Dawn is from that area originally, and she has family there. We have family there. Her brother still lives in the area, so we asked him, can you go check this thing out for us tomorrow? And he agreed. So we told the seller that was the deal and everything was good to go. Then things started to get a little interesting. A few minutes later, we got another message from the seller. Since we talked to him, he'd received numerous emails, offers above asking. And he told us his intent was to sell it on a first come, first served basis, which we completely understand and we're good with. Now, since we'd spoken, someone closer to him had made plans to check it out the following morning, whereas our plans were for Dawn's brother to see it the following evening. So we knew that probably wasn't going to work out very well for us. So we called Dawn's brother back, said, can you go there tonight? He was free. Fortunately, he was able to go over there. Within an hour he was there. He got us on FaceTime, showed us the Scamp. Everything looked great. It was just about perfect for what we wanted. We decided we were going to buy it. So we put a deposit down for the seller, told him we'd be there the next day to pick it up. We consider ourselves lucky because, as I said, some of the offers received were above asking, but the seller stayed true to his word and sold it to us at the original asking price. So the next day we get up early to go pick it up, and I've never towed anything before, so I'm not sure what to expect. Although I figured when we got there, I was thinking Beaufort, Georgia. This is gonna be some small country town. I can go find a Walmart somewhere and spend a little bit of time practicing before we embark on the rest of our trip, because we did have a Florida beach vacation planned for that weekend after we got the camper. But lo and behold, my expectations were completely wrong. Beaufort is not a small country town. It is a major suburb of Atlanta. We got off the highway in rush hour, 6 lanes of traffic, all packed. I look to the right and I see the largest mall in all of Georgia. To give you some sense, if you don't know it, Beaufort is not a small town. And on top of that, when it had been to clear skies the entire trip down, as we arrived there, it began to pour rain. So there we were. But we went and met the seller. It turned out to be a very great guy, very helpful. I told him I didn't know what I was doing, so he took the time to show me a little bit about the trailer, how to hook it up to the hitch. Like I said, I know absolutely nothing, so we're starting at the very beginning. Gave me a tour of the camper, and then everything went through smoothly from that point. We made the purchase, and the Scamp became ours. So we left his driveway, drove about two houses down the street, and I immediately pulled over, got on my phone, and made sure I got some insurance. With the combination of my nerves and lack of experience, definitely want to make sure we had insurance before we went any amount of distance down the road. So that was done. We were all set and ready, and we hit the road for Florida. We had a great weekend, but that's not the purpose of this video. We'll talk about that later. But without further ado, I want to take you on a tour of our new camper that we're calling Fanny. All right, and there's Fanny. It's our 2005 13-foot Scamp. Here we have it sitting. It's in our little driveway area in front of our house. Just gonna do a quick walk around the outside and then look at some of the more specific things on the exterior. It's in very good shape and no damage to the outside. It doesn't need to be cleaned. I think we'll probably try to head down to the car wash and give it a good scrub and cleaning this weekend, hopefully. But you know, apart from a little bit of dirt, you know, very good shape considering the age from the outside. Get over here and I can step back and give you a better view of this side. And there she is. She's a beauty. And you see it comes with it came with the awning. That's the original factory installed awning on there. Came with the single propane tank. The one we've ordered has the double. You know, we're going to learn a lot as we use this and find out what we really need. We thought we might need two, but if we find out that one's adequate, then go ahead and change our order so it's only a single tank. Now I have no idea if this one has anything in it or not. Maybe completely empty, but we'll have to get that filled. I do know that we're going to need a new battery, so I'm going to need some need to do a little bit of research and find out what's going to work for our needs. If you have any suggestions or any tips on what might work best for us, we're probably going to doing a little bit of dry camping, but you know, when we can, try to have hookups. But yeah, if you could let us know in the comments what might be good for us, you know, I'd appreciate that. Now, we camped a few nights at campgrounds that did have hookups. We did not use any of the water at all, but we did hook up to the electric, and show you where that's at. And once hooked up, everything inside worked fine, no problem. We haven't used the fridge yet, but I was told the fridge and the stove and everything works. But I did learn that this is where you control your fridge and determine how you power it, be it propane or battery or hookups. And I did watch a video. I haven't tried it yet. We didn't need it. We were only there a couple days and we had a good cooler, so I didn't turn it on. But it seems pretty easy. But I don't know, at some point I will use it, and when that time comes, I'll probably make a video on that as well. All right, there's the tires that seem to be in pretty decent shape. You know, we have probably do a few days camping over the next few months, but we have a big trip heading out west to Utah from Virginia, tail end of August and early September. Before we do that, I think I'll probably get new tires on there and see what I need to do about servicing the bearings or whatever. I know that's something that needs to be done. I have no idea how it's done, so I'll have to do some research on that too. Did come with a good spare. Before we drove anywhere, we confirmed that the lighting and the blinkers and the brakes and all that worked. Thankfulness to the person who sold me the trailer to show me how to use these stabilizer jacks. They're pretty easy to use once you know what you're doing, but I don't think I could have figured it out on my own. Here's where you put in fill up your water. You know, our tow vehicle is pretty small, so I don't know if we'll ever fill it up and travel with anything like that. I'm going to try to keep the weight down, but well, that's where it's done. So, and again, it has the awning on it. We definitely did use that on our trip. I'd had to watch a video to learn how to do that, but once I knew, you know, just once I had to try it, and then I knew what I was doing. It's pretty easy. So, door's in great shape. I know that's one thing that tends to have problems where they warp, but this one is as it should be. We got a good seal. Yeah, knob works, latches, locks the way it's supposed to. This thing does what it needs to do to hold the door open. All right, and being 2013, it's got a little bit of age on it, but you know, all things considered, and I think as you'll see here, it's in relatively good shape. You know, the rat fur is all good, pretty clean. The floor needs to be cleaned. You know, we may put new flooring down. I know Dawn has some plans for upgrades, and that's definitely one of them. Screens there, intact, functional, everything works well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. Now, the one we've ordered does not have a bathroom. We have no intention or desire to have a toilet or to mess around with dumping black water or anything like that. But just to get into a Scamp, we went ahead and went for this one because it was available, and we could live with that. And we'll just, I think, treat this as a closet and use it for storage, and it does provide ample space for storage. Now, one thing I'm learning is that these things, even though they're small, do not lack for storage. And here we have 2 good storage compartments, and they got a good amount of depth in there. And while we want to keep the weight down, we could pack it full with lightweight things, but you got a lot of space. Space isn't really anything we're hurting for. It's just Dawn and I, maybe a dog or 2 here and there, but just 2 of us, it works out just fine. There's another closet, and this came with the hose and some other stuff, and we intend to reorganize all this stuff. It's just the condition it was in. I don't know if you can tell, but that does go pretty deep. Again, good storage there. There's your vent, and we raised that up when we were camping. Now, the one we ordered, we did go for the AC. I'm not sure that we'll need it. I don't know. We're gonna find out. If we learn that it's not important, we'll adjust our order to probably just have the fan rather than the AC. Again, just to why pay for something that you don't need, and just try to keep the weight down a little bit. Here's the dinette. I put this up to show for the video, but when we started our trip and through the course of our trip, we put it down. We had it in the bed layout, and it does convert to a bed. And that's probably how we'll keep it permanently. Honestly, we can sit and eat on the bed. We really don't need to have a table to eat on. But again, you have storage space on both sides beneath. And when this folds down, it does leave a good amount of space beneath the table from this location here to the bottom. That's just empty space. So if that's going to be a permanent, bed area, we can utilize that for storage beneath. We're thinking our clothes and stuff will go there maybe, but we'll see about that. All right, we got the curtains, and finally we got the kitchen area here. Again, additional storage. As I said, the stove and the fridge I'm told work, but those are as of yet untested. We'll be trying that out probably in the next month or so and planning and prep for our big trip. Got your sink. And we do a lot of camping anyway, so we have a camp stove. So even having this stove, we may lean towards cooking outside with our camp stove. So I think Dawn is looking to either purchase or buy something to cover this, to have just additional counter space or a cutting board type thing there. And just a couple more storage closets. And that's about it, other than the windows I didn't show. Here we have the windows that slide open. They lock and then slide. When we did that, we had a portable battery operated fan with those windows open and that fan on. We were comfortable camping, and it cooled down in the evenings, but it got into the 90s during the day. We were in Florida and Georgia, so it's pretty hot. So for those reasons, we're not sure if we need the AC or not. But all right, well, there it is. There's Miss Fanny. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed the tour of Miss Fanny. It's our plan to take you along with us everywhere we go. We're going to show you changes we make to the Scamp. Dawn already has some ideas of some improvements that she wants to make. Most importantly, we'd like to help you learn with us if you're new to this, as we make the mistakes for you. Now, if you aren't new to this and you have some tips for us, or if you see that I'm making mistakes that I don't realize, please put that information in the comments. I'd love to learn from you guys as well. So, like I said, thanks for joining us. Scamps like us, we're born to camp. Later.